For years, humanoid robots have been doing backflips and demos and folding laundry in labs. Impressive, but safe, controlled. Yesterday's science fiction slowly becoming reality. Until now. Because a company just did something no one has done before. They sent humanoid robots, real, walking, thinking machines, to a live battlefield. Not a test, not a simulation, an actual war. And the robots are already there. Proof and forward loop. The company is Foundation Future Industries. The robot is the Phantom Mk1, 5'9", 175 pounds, built specifically for military operations. In February 2026, 2 of them were deployed to Ukraine for frontline testing. But here is what nobody is asking. If humanoid robots are already in a war zone, what exactly can they do? And what comes after this? Meet the Phantom Mk1. This is not a research prototype. Foundation unveiled it in October 2025 specifically for military use. Designed from day one to operate in environments too dangerous for human soldiers. It stands 5 feet 9 inches, weighs 175 pounds, and it moves through the kinds of environments human soldiers operate in, because it was built in the shape of a human for exactly that reason. Trenches built for human bodies. Vehicles with human controls. Buildings with human-sized doors. A wheeled robot gets to the entrance. The Phantom Mk1 goes inside. Foundation CEO Sanket Parekh has been direct about where this is heading. The goal is a machine that can use, in his own words, any kind of weapon that a human can. Right now, the units in Ukraine are doing reconnaissance, gathering intelligence in areas where sending a soldier would mean almost certain death. No weapons yet. A human being must approve any lethal decision. But the architecture is built for what comes next. The Phantom Mk2 and what's coming. And they are already building the next version. The Phantom Mk2 is expected to debut in April 2026. Fully waterproof. Carries loads up to 80 kilograms. Roughly the weight of an adult soldier it could carry out of a kill zone. Better battery life. Foundation's production target is 50,000 units by 2027. This is not a startup running demos. This is a company on a war footing. The robot army Ukraine already built. But the Phantom Mk1 did not arrive to an empty battlefield. It arrived to a country that has already built an entire robot army from scratch. In January 2026 alone, Ukraine ran more than 7,000 robotic ground missions. That is a robot mission launching every 6 minutes, around the clock, every single day. Before Russia's invasion in 2022, Ukraine had virtually 0 domestic robot manufacturers. Today, more than 200 companies build robotic platforms, an entire industry created in 3 years of active war. These ground robots, called UGVs, deliver ammunition to frontline troops, evacuate wounded soldiers under fire, and some carry heavy machine guns directly into positions where human infantry would face near certain death. Major Oleksandr Afanasyev, who commands what he describes as the world's first UG battalion, put it plainly. A human soldier would be afraid to go there. A robot, he said, is happy to risk its existence. The world first kill. Then something happened that rewrote the record books. Ukraine's 5th Separate Assault Brigade deployed a DevDroid ground combat platform, a remotely operated robot armed with a 12.7 mm heavy machine gun during a Russian night assault. The operator, watching through a thermal imager, spotted an MTLB armored personnel carrier moving directly into the kill zone, carrying Russian infantry. The robot opened fire. The machine gun rounds pierced the side of the armored vehicle, hitting the crew and assault troops on board. The MTLB spun out of control. Russia's attempted assault collapsed. Ukraine lost 0 soldiers. The operator was kilometers away. A ground robot had just destroyed an enemy armored vehicle in combat for the first time in the history of warfare. That has never happened in any war in human history. Until now. The kill zones where machines fight machines. Because here is what is happening on the ground in Ukraine right now that most people do not know about. In the kill zones, stretches of land ahead of defensive lines where no soldier dares walk, Both sides stopped sending humans and started sending machines. Ukrainian robots lay mines. Russian robots try to clear them. Ukrainian drones hunt Russian ground vehicles. Russian drones hunt Ukrainian ones. Ground robots deliver supplies to positions that human runners cannot reach. According to BBC reporting, ground robots now deliver approximately 90% of supplies to Ukraine's Pokrovsk defenders. It is a war being fought by machines. For machines. About machines. And the people who built them watch from screens kilometers away. Russia surrendering to a robot. And then something happened that no military doctrine anywhere on Earth had prepared for. Russian soldiers began surrendering, not to Ukrainian troops, to Ukrainian robots. There is footage of Russian soldiers raising their hands in front of a UG's cameras. Human soldiers, surrendering to a machine. That has no precedent in the history of armed conflict. The industrial AI connection. The Phantom Mk1 is not being developed in isolation. At NVIDIA's GTC 2026 conference this week, Techman Robot unveiled the TM Explore 1, a humanoid built for factory floors that combines a human upper body with a wheeled base, and runs on NVIDIA's Jetson Thor AI chip. It interacted with visitors in real time, understood spoken instructions, and adapted to new tasks without reprogramming. Why does this matter for a video about Ukraine? Because the same AI that teaches a robot to navigate a factory, vision systems, real-time decision-making, language understanding, is exactly what makes a military humanoid smarter in a combat environment. The civilian and military robotics industries are feeding each other. Every improvement made in a factory in Taiwan makes the next version of the Phantom more capable in a war zone. Microsoft's AI CEO Mustafa Suleyman has stated publicly that AI will automate most white-collar tasks within 12 to 18 months. Anthropic's CEO Dario Amodei has said AI will eliminate 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs within 1 to 5 years. Foundation's own CEO agrees with both of them. The technology accelerating automation in offices is the same technology being put inside machines that walk into buildings carrying weapons. What comes after this? Ukraine's former commander-in-chief Valery Zaluzhny, now ambassador to the United Kingdom, described at Chatham House what he believes is coming. In the near future, he said, "We will see dozens and even hundreds of smarter and cheaper drones attack from various directions and heights, from the air, ground, and sea at the same time. Not individual robots. Swarms. AI-powered, coordinating across air, ground, and sea simultaneously." The current rule requiring a human to authorize every lethal decision was designed for one robot at a time. Nobody has written the rulebook for what happens when 1,000 machines are moving faster than any human can process. Ukraine did not set out to build the future of warfare. It set out to survive. And in doing so, it became the place where that future arrived decades ahead of schedule. Foundation's co-founder Mike LeBlanc, a combat veteran, says there is a moral imperative to send robots to war instead of soldiers. And honestly, the logic is hard to argue with. If a machine can take the risk, why would you send a person instead? But here's the question nobody has answered yet. What happens when the machine stops waiting for us to tell it what to do? Drop your answer in the comments. Is this the future we want? Or the future we are already too late to stop? And if this video changed how you think about where technology is headed, subscribe. Because this story is nowhere near over.